Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show for Thursday, June 17th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, Jose Bouquett, our special guest Tuesdays and Thursdays with us on the show as we're ready to break down this Thursday MLB slate. Lots of day games, a couple of day games, I should say, today on this Thursday. So let's get down to business. We've got Baltimore and Cleveland. This game is just moments away from starting. We've got Eli Morgan and Jorge Lopez on the mound, and the total opened 9. It's up to 9.5, and I fully get why that is. There should be some runs today between these two teams. A warm, mild afternoon here in the Northeast. It's going to be very, very nice, beautiful, sunny afternoon for baseball in Cleveland. I don't trust either pitcher, Jorge Lopez and Eli Morgan. At the times I've seen him pitch, he's really been roughed up for this Cleveland team. So this total is getting hit up. Very easy to understand why I am indeed on the over here. 9. I got 9 minus 120, 9.5. I still like it over the total for me. Orioles, Cleveland. Connor, what do you like here in this game?
I agree with you. I got 9 as well, but now 9.5. I think you're okay at minus 110. Morgan, yeah, we'll see. He gave up a lot, 6 runs against the Jays May 28th. And we all know Lopez, our guy Lopez. He's pitched better lately. But I'd be on a full game over. The team totals are interesting, but they're both around minus 120. And I don't want to put my team single on the Orioles or the Indians. Just take the full game over here and go. You got to lean Indians. This Orioles first 5, they just can't win the full game here. They can't win on the road. So it'd be Indians. Maybe you take a shot, first 5, half a run, full game run line to get a little better. But at minus 114, it's not bad either.
Yeah, not bad at all. Jose, anything here for you with Baltimore, Cleveland?
I'm leaning towards that first, or the team total that Connor just mentioned. The Orioles team total minus 115. I have it. That's the only place I would go so far. But other than that, I probably wouldn't go anything.
All right, we've got the Arizona Diamondbacks. Will they ever win a road game in their lives again? Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the San Francisco Giants here. Zach Gallen back on the bump for the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's a name we haven't seen for a while, and a very good pitcher when he's on. Could this be the day that Arizona snaps that road losing streak? Well, they better hope Gallen's ready to deliver. Unfortunately for them, they got to face Kevin Gausman for the San Francisco Giants, who's had a very good season for them. San Francisco, huge favorites here, that minus 200 range, a total 7.5 here. When you look at this game, I mean, I like Gallen. I'm tempted to kind of take a small stab at the price in the first 5 with Arizona. Obviously, the first 5, you cannot touch this bullpen right now. They are that bad and pathetic at the moment, the Diamondbacks bullpen. And look, their bullpen has been so overworked. They're throwing out position players to throw innings for them starting in the 4th last night against the San Francisco Giants. That showed you how bad it's gotten for their overworked bullpen. But I can't bring myself to bet Arizona today, either first 5 or full game. I do like Gallen, but remember, keep in mind, he hasn't pitched for a while. Stint on the IL. Let's see how he does first. And I'd just rather sit back and watch a start. If he looks good today, Gallen, then I'll probably back him the next start. That's basically the kind of thinking I'm going with. But I just can't do it with this Arizona team. They just find ways to screw up. They just find ways to lose on the road. And it's not like they're facing a pitcher that's chopped liver on the other side. Kevin Gausman's had a very, very good season. Not his best as last start against Washington, but still, he's had an outstanding season overall, especially in this ballpark. So I like Gallen a lot, but with Arizona's struggles are just so bad, I'm not going to touch the Diamondbacks here. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, I'd only be on the Giants here. There's a bunch of ways you go. You could wait. You could take them first 5. I get people looking at the D-backs. I just don't like Gallen coming off the IL like you talked about. The first 5, I looked at the under with these 2 pitchers. It's 3.5. I had to have a 4 here. And then there's runs after that. You could go in game over. Even the over 7.5, it could get there. This could be the last game of the series. Maybe a different little lineup here. But it'd only be Giants. Now it's minus 110, the run line. It's still okay. But any which way you want to go here, I'd go with the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, it's just difficult. It's because, that's been the thing. Arizona's gotten the odd good pitching effort from one of their starters, and then the bullpen just throws it all away in the latter innings. That's what this team's capable of right now. Jose, Arizona, San Francisco, what do you like?
You know what? It's hard to make history. is what I'm thinking here, guys. And if Arizona loses this last away game, they'll officially have broken 23 straight, I believe. Then MLB record for most road losses in a row. So I'm leaning towards the Diamondbacks first 5 here for sure. I like Diamondbacks first 5. I think I've seen a couple times that they've gone up in this game, and then the Giants come soaring back at the end. So definitely can't do the bullpens. This is also definitely a live bet spot. If the Diamondbacks do go up like they have been, just go ahead and live bet the Giants. It's been working for a lot of people. And my last thing about this game would be Arizona's first 5 team total. First over 1.5 is at plus 115. I think they can get some runs across, and I think we'll get it done.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a great strategy that I've actually used a few times now. Arizona in a close game, maybe they have a lead, maybe it's close, 4th, 5th inning, and then you just take the other team, either money line or team total over. Team total over has really worked out well for me with the opposing team late in the game, because the Arizona bullpen almost at this point is incapable of pitching clean innings, in the last 3-4 innings of the game. So that remains the issue here. Yeah, apparently there's a soccer goal that just happened. Belgium, I think. Yeah.
Belgium.
Yeah,
that's what we got behind us, Ian. Come on, Ian.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Belgium. So Belgium scored in the Euro, and they're, I believe, 1-1 now with the Danes, with Denmark. A lot of hockey players are from Denmark, so I know they'll be anxiously watching this soccer match today for sure. All right, we move on down the card here as we continue on a Thursday. By the way, thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us as you do each and every day. We're here 7 days a week for the MLB closing time show. So definitely thanks for tuning in. New York Yankees, Toronto Blue Jays, Michael King and TJ Zoik on the mound for the Blue Jays here tonight. Spot start for him. Pretty much even money both sides, total 10.5. Should see runs here. I mean, TJ Zoik you're going to tell me the Blue Jays are going to have a bullpen day today with a bullpen that can't get outs? Yeah, that's probably bad news against this New York Yankees lineup. A bullpen that can't get outs, and it is a bullpen game, bullpen night for the Toronto Blue Jays. So that's probably not a good sign. But I'm not a big Michael King fan. As a starting pitcher, he's not been anything to write home about for the Yankees. I think the Jays smash him a little bit. So, yeah, it's a high total, 10.5. But you're talking about Buffalo, a little bit of a smaller park. The ball can fly. It's a warm night. I think we'll see runs tonight in this game. I do like over 10.5. We had a lower scoring game last night. And I like that situation as well. And I often like those situations. Lower scoring game the previous night, and then things are up the next night. I think we could see that here in this game tonight. So you're right. Vlad Guerrero Jr., how are you ever going to say it's a bad bet, total bases or home run prop? I know last night, finally, he got held down, but usually gets held down one game. It's not going to be the same the next game. And by the way, it is worth mentioning, 2 for 7 off Michael King in the past. Marcus Semien, 2 for 4 against him. Joe Panic, 2 for 5 against him. Teoscar Hernandez, 2 for 5 against him in minimal at-bats. So minimal at-bats against Michael King, but success for many Blue Jays against him during those minimal at-bats and minimal amount of opportunities they've had against him. Connor, what do you think here, Yankees, Blue Jays?
Yeah, King is just not very good. This, you could maybe get me a full game over 10.5 here, I think, because I think there'll be runs on both sides. But I'll take the Jays first 5 again, even with the bullpen early, but I'll go early with them. They might blow it late, but give me them first 5. I just don't know if I want to go minus 110 or I might go half a run. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a short leash here, no question about it, on TJ Zoik and anybody really that they have behind them. I mean, this is a laundry list of relievers that can't be trusted right now in this Jays team. Like, there's really nobody that Charlie Montoyo, the manager, can say, you know what, I feel really good that this guy can get me 3 outs here in a ball game right now. I mean, that's how bad things are. And they got injuries too now. I mean, you saw Dolis get injured. You saw Carl Edwards Jr., who just joined the bullpen like last week. He's injured too. So they're dropping like flies from an injury standpoint as well. So it's just a ravaged bullpen. Injuries and can't get any outs right now. Bad combination. What do you think here, Jose? Yankees, Blue Jays? I think we've got that. You know what? Shohei Ohtani, he's going to have to come, like we said off the air. Shohei Ohtani's got to come through for Jose tonight, because right now his internet as you can see on the fritz. He's got to pay those internet bills, and Shohei's got to deliver the cash for him tonight for the LA Angels. So we'll see if that is indeed possible. See if we can get Jose back later in the show. Cubs and Mets. Kyle Hendricks, Marcus Stroman on the mound here. Mets -120, -125 home favorites. 7.5 the total here in this game. Another terrific outing from DeGrom last night. What else is new? Now Stroman on the mound, 2.32 ERA. Hendricks on the other side, 4.46 ERA. He has pitched a little bit better lately, Hendricks, but I'm telling you what, I ain't backing the Cubs on the road here, Conor Mac. How many times do I have to say this about the Chicago Cubs, that all their good performances and all their wins and all their streaks come at Wrigley Field? You get them on the road, especially against a capable team, and all of a sudden this is definitely a team that's beatable and struggles to win games. We're seeing that right now. So I think I trust Stroman more than Hendricks. I don't trust the Cubs on the road either. So I'm looking at Mets first 5 full game split. That's definitely I'll be definitely on both of those tonight, a split between the first 5 and the full game with the New York Mets. Connor, what do you think here with the Cubs and the Mets?
I like the same thing. I like Stroman here at home. Cubs on the road. One thing, though, Hendricks, he's been better. 6-0 his last 6 outings, and his ERA has been under 3. But he still gives up the long ball, and a few of these Mets have hit him. So I think they get a few. I like the first 5 under 4 here as well. You get it -15. Some places -120. I see an under. It got over yesterday. DeGrom went out, and even the full game, I think, went over, but barely. I don't see a ton of runs. Mets might get a few here, but give me the first 5 under 4 as well.
All right, liking the first 5 under in this one for Conor Mac with the Cubs and the Mets. And we're just having a whale of a time right now with with Jose and his internet connection. I think he's popping back up here. We'll see if he's back on.
Yeah, we rested. We said we're good now.
Here we go. Is Jose going. Earth to Jose? Is there any life?
I think.
Control
I think we're rolling.
Tom. There we go.
I think. I think I reset the router. We're gonna hope for the best here. What game are we on?
Well, actually, we'll give you a chance to talk Yankees Blue Jays as well. The game before that, and the Cubs Mets as well.
Well, don't worry, because I don't have anything to say about Yankees Blue Jays. I'll pass on that game completely. And the Mets, Cubs, man, that's a tough. I liked Marcus Stroman today. I thought it was an interesting matchup with Hendricks, but I just think the juice is a little too high for me. Honestly, I'd honestly lean towards the under. I'm getting all my screens back up, so I don't know where the game is and what the weather is like in Chicago right now. If that's where the game is, but I'd lean towards the over. But otherwise, Okay, well then never mind. I'm staying off completely. Perfect. I just missed 2 games that I was staying off of. Then we're whirling.
There you go. Exactly. No, it's in Citi Field. I used to call it Shitty Field because I was just so disappointed with how that new ballpark. It doesn't look great for a new ballpark. That's why I always call it Shitty Field. But nevertheless, Marcus Stroman. Max was mentioned as strikeout prop. Yeah.
It's a little juice is a little high, I think.
Number.
But I think
juice is high, but he's had 8, 6, 7, 8. Strikeouts in his last 4. And then you look at the Cubs, they're sometimes a little strikeout happy at times. I mean, you look at, obviously I know who they're going up against last night. They're going up against an elite pitcher. Don't get me wrong here with DeGrom. But still, they strike out quite a bit, this Cubs team. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. I mean, DeGrom got him for 8 strikeouts last night. I'm not saying Stroman is DeGrom. Nobody should say that. But Stroman is a strikeout guy right now. So to answer your question there, Maximilian, I like the over 5.5 strikeouts. It's a little juicy, but I could see him getting to 6 or more in this one, no question. All right, let's move on. Cardinals and Braves. Oh my gosh, John Gant and Charlie Morton, old man Morton. Talk about 2 pitchers that I've got a hard time trusting and backing. We've got these 2 matching up here. Atlanta -190, home favorites here in this one, total 9 across the board. Old man Morton's actually been a little bit better in his recent starts. Remember, he got roughed up through a period of late April into May. He really went through a stretch of baseball where things were just not going well for him. But he's kind of ironed out his issues a little bit in the last few starts that he's had over the last 3 outings. We'll see if he can keep that going. But John Gant, on the other hand, I've been just waiting for the shoe to fucking drop on this guy. Been waiting so patiently, just waiting to see. You know what? he's finally going to hit the shits, and he's finally done that here in these last 2 starts. Dreadful for John Gant. 7 runs, 7 hits, 4 innings against Cincinnati. 5 runs, only 1 hit, but had tons of control issues, and that's been the big issue for John Gant lately. It has been walks and control problems for him. 3, 3, 3, 5 walks in his last 4 starts. That is just not very good. And you're going to give this Braves team, the opportunity to get base runners. I think that's a problem here. We'll see how Morton fares. Again, Morton's been, over the last 5 starts, 6 starts, he's been better than he was earlier in the season. 3 runs allowed, 1 run allowed, 1 run allowed, 3 runs allowed. Last 2, he's kind of labored. Dodgers, 4 runs in 5 innings. Miami, 4 runs in 4 innings. We'll see if he can be a little bit more serviceable, pitch deeper into the game, pitch a little bit more economically tonight than he has in the last 2 games. I'm leaning over the total here. We've talked about how Atlanta at home, this team just continues to be an over machine. You look at the Boston series that just wrapped up, 2 overs at home in that game. I mean, their overall record, I believe, let me just bring it up. I've mentioned this a million times here on the show in terms of the Atlanta Braves being a team that trends to the over on their home field. They are 22-12. All right, 22-12 to the over at home this season. That's difficult to ignore that. Now, St. Louis is not hitting right now. That's the one issue. That's the one little fear I have with the over in this game. But hopefully they can do enough against old man Morton. And like we say, the regression train is running over John Gant right now, big time. The regression train is running over him. The train has run over him on the tracks the last 2 starts. I think it could continue here. So I'm going to go over the total with St. Louis, Atlanta. Connor, what do you think with the Cards and the Braves?
Yeah, we'll see with the total. The Cards, can they get 4 runs off of Morton here? And that Braves bullpen, it's -120. I think that's a look. The Braves, either you get a big number, 4.5 or over 5.5 at +120. I kind of lean that way, but I don't want the Braves here. No way. They've been scoring. They're still losing. They're still giving up a shit ton of runs. The pitching is bad. I'm going to take a small shot with Gant and the Cardinals first 5. It's +180. Not a huge bet, but just a small one here. I think it's too much value. Maybe get a few off Morton early and get it. So I'm on the Cards first 5.
All right, Cards first 5. They've been struggling big time the last 2 weeks. John Gant has been just
can't hit a lick.
Yeah, they can't hit a. That's the one thing I am concerned about with the overs. St. Louis bats are pretty much silent right now. But Morton at home is nothing great. 4.66 ERA. And by the way, I talked about betting the over in this game, and I'm on that over. 7-1 to the over in Charlie Morton home starts this season. 7-1 to the over in his 8 home starts here in Atlanta. So it's another little angle that's in my favor here. With this one. Jose, what do you think here, St. Louis, Atlanta?
I was looking at team totals because I was on the overs train when they were playing the Red Sox. And I'll admit it, guys, there were statistically worse bullpens in baseball, but the Cubs or the Braves, oh my God, they are so bad. And across the board, all of their spin rates I've checked have been all down. And I really do think that this is over City as well. I was looking at first 5 first 5 team totals. I'm sorry. The Braves 3.5 +140 first 5. I like that. I kind of wanted a bigger line on that, to be honest. I was hoping for a +2. If you think that Charlie Morton's going to struggle, first 5 Cardinals team total 3.5 to +250. I like that as well. Runs in this game for sure. Not home runs, apparently, because of that big-ass wall, but definitely runs.
Runs, if not home runs tonight in this matchup here with the Cardinals and Braves. How about the White Sox and the Astros? What a nice little AL showdown this is tonight with these 2 teams starting up a series against one another. Should be fascinating here. Dylan Cease, Jose Urquidy, your pitching matchup here. Houston -130. Home favorites, total 9 across the board. Dylan Cease, pretty solid overall. Last 2 starts, both of them against Detroit, 2 runs in 12 innings, but that was Detroit. We'll see if he can keep it going here in this one. His road numbers, not as good. 5.79 ERA on the road for Dylan Cease. that is concerning just a little bit here coming into this outing against a Houston team that, let's be honest, the Astros starting to mash again. Look out in this little 7-2 streak that they've had in their last 9 games. Scored 6, 7, 8, 8, 6, 14, 6, 8. That's a lot of runs. A lot of runs for this Houston team. They're feeling it. They're feeling their oats right now as a lineup at the plate. The little guy, Jose Altuve, is just in a good groove right now, feeling it for the Houston Astros at this point in time. So, it's difficult. This lineup's mashing. They're playing good ball at home right now as well. Dylan Cease on the road, his ERA isn't quite as good. So that concerns me a bit. On the other side, you got Urquidy for the Houston Astros. Reasonable numbers this year, 3.77 ERA on the season. In Houston this year, 2.83 ERA for him. Astros 4-1 in his home starts. White Sox 2-4 in Cease's 6 starts. And by the way, the over is a combined 8-3 between these two teams with these two pitchers on the mound. 4-1 over in Urquidy's home starts, 4-2 over in Cease's 6 road starts this year. So that's what I'm looking at here as an over tonight. Rather than either side, I lean Houston. I think Houston would be the way I would have to go here. First 5 in full game from a side perspective. That great home record. The White Sox have a great record, but they're only 16-13 on the road. A lot of their damage has been at home. Houston 22-13 at home. Urquidy very good at home. So I lean to Houston first 5 in full game, but I think we could get over this number. These are two very, very, very strong lineups, at the moment. And I think maybe we could see some runs, and certainly the trends with Urquidy at home and Cease on the road point to the over as well. What do you think, Connor? Chicago, Houston.
Yeah, these pitchers could pitch well early, but I see runs, especially late. The Astros team total 4.5 minus 105. I think the White Sox over 4.5. Urquidy's been pretty good, but he's susceptible to the long ball. We all know the White Sox can hit some jacks. So I think that's some value here. I don't know if I bet him, but I think there's a little value full game with the White Sox. If I were to bet the Astros, I'd only go first 5. I wouldn't go full game. Why mess with that bullpen at all? So if you like the Astros, look to them early. But full game, I lean the Sox here, getting almost plus 120.
Yeah, you know what? I'm in agreement with you, Connor, in that Cheshire Cat, I should say. A lot of people on the White Sox. Yeah, it feels like road dogs are trying to get you to take that, but I like Houston a little bit. And again, the White Sox haven't been quite as good on the road. This Houston team's mashing right now, and I don't think the White Sox bullpen is as good as people thought they would be coming to this season either. They've been a little bit up and down, and we know Houston's bullpen really isn't much of a shutdown group either this year. So that's a good point where if you don't get the runs early, you could certainly get them late. What do you think, Jose? White Sox, Astros?
Yeah, I think you'll get runs here today. I think there'll definitely be runs. Urquidy has not been the same guy earlier in this year. And Cease has openly said that the sticky stuff is going to affect him, and we're seeing more pitchers talk about it openly, which I think is interesting. Garrett Richards last night eulogized his career after the game. He said, "Yeah, like I have to change up how I pitch, and I basically threw all fastballs today, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's not ideal." So pitchers are going to be affected by this. Obviously, I've been telling people on both programs that I'm on that since June 3rd, if we can get an update of the over and unders, since June 3rd, I guarantee you more overs are going to start hitting from that day on. That's just what's going to happen, and I'm on the over here as well. I love what you guys are thinking.
All right, Jose liking the over here in this one as well in the White Sox and the Astros. We got Cincinnati and San Diego. Reds, Padres, Wade Miley, Joe Musgrove, the matchup here. San Diego, significant favorites here in this one, right around that minus 170 range right now is what we're seeing to minus 175. The total 7.5 here across the board. You got Joe Musgrove on the mound here for the San Diego Padres. Solid numbers overall, 2.5 ERA on the season, 2.83 ERA here at Petco Park this season for the Padres. Yet Musgrove's lost back-to-back starts, both of them to the Mets, where he pitched, decent, 3 runs in each start, but no run support. The Padres lose both games. And he's not pitching deep lately. Look, 4.25, 6.1. So he's not eating up innings quite the level that we would expect. And by the way, Musgrove pitched a lot of his earlier part of his career in Pittsburgh. So who knows a little bit about him? This Reds team does. And a couple guys have hit him. Eugenio Suarez, especially 4 for 11, 1 homer. There's a total bases and home run Jack of the Day candidate for me right there. No question about that. Looking toward Eugenio Suarez here in this game. You can't go wrong with Votto, 4 for 14, 1 home run as well off of Musgrove. Again, those two guys in particular, they've been with the Reds so long that they remember facing Musgrove back in the Pittsburgh days. So they've had success. I'm baffled San Diego's this big of a favorite. I mean, the Reds are absolutely rolling right now. Their bats are firing on all cylinders. Their pitching's been good enough. And Wade Miley, the lefty, he's been absolutely terrific. He has gone now 4 starts in a row. He's given up 4 earned runs, Wade Miley, in his last 22 innings. I think that's pretty good. That sure sounds pretty good. 4 earned runs allowed in his last 22 innings of work for Wade Miley right now. Pitching well. The Reds are 5-2 in his last 7 starts. This is a live dog to me. I like Cincinnati first 5. I like Cincinnati full game. They are rolling right now. This is a very generous price. I think this is a very, very live road underdog for the surging Reds against the, let's be honest, kind of slumping San Diego Padres, who are just 4-6 in their actually more than that. They are just 2-8 in their last 10 games, including 3 straight losses at Colorado. Yeah, got swept by the Rockies. They're not playing good ball right now. The Reds are. They got a capable guy on the mound who's given up 4 runs in his last 22 innings. This is a very, very sweet underdog spot, in my opinion. I like Reds first 5 and full game. Connor, what do you think here, Reds Padres?
Yeah, it's just huge. I know the Padres are coming home. Musgrove's been really good all year, kind of a get-right spot. But give me the Reds the first 5. Not full game, of course. You can't have that pin. But get a few runs off Musgrove. I think this might be a first 5 under 4 as well. 2 good pitchers that pitched well all year. And I'd look at maybe Reds team total. You get a 3.5 plus money. You don't see that too often. Plus 105 I have here. So you mentioned it. All those guys that have hit homers for the Reds, Suarez, Votto. So maybe they get a jack, especially early, would be nice.
Yeah, definitely. And so we'll see how it goes here. Wade Miley, again, against the Reds. Are there anybody that's hit him pretty good? Machado's definitely someone that has hit him a little bit. 4 for 12 and a home run.
He has. They haven't hit lefties
Miley.
Great.
No,
so far
they
this
haven't.
year.
They're 250,
surprisingly,
220. Yeah, what's their average here? Let me see. It's not good. I know that. 226. It's nothing to write home about.
Something like that.
For the Padres against lefties this season. What do you think here, Jose? Reds Padres?
I'm actually leaning towards the first 5 over 4 here. I think, if you guys think that the Reds are going to touch up Musgrove, then I think it's not too much to ask for 1-2 runs from Musgrove, or from the other way, from the Reds and then whatnot. So I really think that I can get the first 5 over 4 here. And I'm getting pretty good number on it too. I know Connor, you're a fan of the under, so that scares me. I wouldn't actually bet it because, for God forbid me go against the power of Conor Mac. I'd never do such a thing.
No, you go against me, brother. It's heads up.
But I do like the first 5 over 4 there, minus 105. I've been leaning towards when these 2 good pitcher matchups come together, I lean towards the over, and it's been working out to me. It didn't work out last night. I had Wheeler and Kershaw over 3.5. They got me 2, but there was traffic on the bases all night. I honestly should have got it, but I like the over 4 here.
All right, liking the over 4 here in the first 5. We got the Brewers and the Rockies next up. Brandon Woodruff, German Marquez, the pitching matchup here. Milwaukee, mid-range favorites, minus 150 to minus 160, 10.5 the total here in this game. Brandon Woodruff just continues to scintillate, every single start this year. 1.52 ERA overall, 10-3 for the Brewers in his starts this year. On the road, a 0.67 ERA for Brandon Woodruff. However, this is a different animal. This is Coors Field, and we always want to know how a pitcher has done in the past when he's pitched here. And for Woodruff, he's made 2 starts in Colorado. One, it was not bad, 1 run in 4.2 innings, and the other was a nightmare. 7 runs, 9 hits, and lasted only 3 innings. So which is it going to be here for Brandon Woodruff? But that's a long time ago. He is in great form. It's just, as much as I like Woodruff, this is a ballpark that's very, very dangerous for pitchers right now. And Woodruff has given up a home run or two lately. And this is a 90-degree temperature night in Colorado. We saw it play out to perfection yesterday. I said, don't be scared of that 12 that we saw there yesterday with that San Diego, Colorado total. It is 100 degrees. The wind was blowing out. It is a scorcher in what's already a bandbox hitter-friendly ballpark. And what do we see? A complete slugfest yesterday with the Padres and the Rockies. 8-7 that game ended up. 15 runs in that game. We have German Marquez on the mound for the Rockies in this game today. He was going through a really, really good run until the last outing against Cincinnati, where he got crushed. 9 runs, 12 hits, 5 innings. It was disaster just 5 days ago for Marquez against the Reds. Can he bounce back here? His home numbers overall, 3.99 ERA, decent, not for sure. The way I see it here, it's 10.5. You think, how could you look over 10.5 with Woodruff in particular? But there are some things about Woodruff is that the ball does get up in the air against him. He does give up a few fly balls. He does give up a few home runs. And with this, again, wind blowing out at Colorado tonight, once again, 11 miles per hour, very hot, once again, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a little bit of a concern for me for Woodruff. Look, Woodruff's given up 3 home runs in his last 2 starts combined. So the home run ball has been his one little kryptonite here these last 2 games. So the home run ball to me matters, that he's given up these long balls these last 2 starts. You're going into an environment that's hot, 90 degrees, with a wind blowing out. That's trouble. Marquez, blown up the last start. I think there's runs here, believe it or not. Even with Wood, you think, what are you doing? Over 10.5 with Woodruff on the mound? But there's some things that worry about me. Combustible elements with the weather, with the wind, with the heat. A guy giving up home runs like Woodruff has the last 2 starts. Wouldn't surprise me to see another over. And look, I'm not looking to bet unders at Coors Field when it's consistently hot weather like this and wind blowing out. It's just a recipe for these 9-6, 9-7, 10-8 games that we see there sometimes in this ballpark. So I would only look over the total here, 10.5. Connor, what do you think here? Fascinating handicap because you got an elite pitcher, but you see some things that maybe worry you a little bit about him tonight. Milwaukee, Colorado.
Yeah, it could go either way. I mean, before that, Marquez, over the last 6 starts, before the Cincinnati one, he had a 1.89 ERA, and he's pretty good, usually good at home. I just keep backing Woodruff all year. I've took him a half a run first 5, and I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to lay off the under-over because I could see no runs early, the runs late, maybe a few jacks, but I'm going to stay away from the totals here. I'm just going to stick with my Brewers with Woodruff on the mound, first 5, half a run here.
Yeah, I lean that way for sure. I think that is a decent way to go. Milwaukee first 5, laying the half a run. And I'm tempted. Man, am I tempted because I've been on that bet a lot. But if I look back at the night and I see Colorado get off to a good start offensively, and I'm going to think back and say, you know what? It was kind of, what? I told you so. I kind of worried about this here for Woodruff. Home runs
they're
that he's
better
given
at
up.
home.
Warm night. Yep.
Rockies, yeah.
Yeah, warm night,
Definitely.
Wind blowing out. The guy has been susceptible to some home run balls the last couple of starts. For as amazing as Woodruff's been this season, we've seen that be an issue with him these last 2 games, and that's what worries me tonight. It could be a big issue. Home run park, warm night, wind blowing out. So we'll see how it goes for Woodruff. If he passes this test and aces this test with flying colors, man, that will be very impressive. What do you think here, Jose?
Honestly, I was looking at the game, and before you guys said anything, I was like, oh, Woodruff, 6.5 strikeouts, plus money, no problem. I'll take that all day. Ian, after what you said, I was a little apprehensive now, but I think I'm going to stick to my guns. I think he has a decent outing. He might get touched up for a couple runs, but I think he'll still get the strikeouts. We've seen a drop of strikeouts across the board. I mean, Cole pitched like 6 innings and only had 1 strikeout. That sticky stuff related, perhaps, but I looked at Woodruff's numbers and there was nothing that really stood out to me sticky stuff wise that would that would concern me. His numbers were down, but nothing to an extreme degree. And the Coors Field spin rate also doesn't hurt or doesn't help. So I would lean towards the strikeout. I loved it before Ian said anything, and then he said all those things. His past record at Coors, that scared me. So lean there. Otherwise, I'd stay off.
Yeah, they just hit better at home, like yesterday. Beating San Diego 8 runs. I mean, they love hitting, and they can't hit a lick on the road. That seems like we've been talking about
familiarity.
For years.
Yeah, it's all familiarity. I think Cheshire Cat just doesn't know why the Rockies bad at home. I mean, you do better when you're sleeping on your bed. You don't want to go to someone else, some other
city.
Sleep better. Sleeping at a hotel. Right. Yeah, you just feel more comfortable. Everything. It's just a comfort level at home. And honestly, with a team that's as bad as the Rockies, that's just all it comes down to.
Yeah, and definitely they're bolstered by that thin air in Denver. Absolutely Magnum face, no question. Detroit and LA Angels. This is the most exciting part of the show for Jose because it's Shohei Ohtani discussion time. He's on the mound for the Angels, and get that internet bill paid. Shohei will help Jose in that regard tonight. Taking on Matt Manning, making his major league debut for Detroit. The Angels minus 200 home favorites, 8.5 the total in this one. Ohtani, just what can you say? Continues to be pretty solid for the Angels. 2.85 ERA, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts in his last start. So it's been terrific for him. Matt Manning on the mound. Look, highly touted, number 3 ranked prospect in the organization. But here's the problem: he was drafted in the first round in 2016, 5 years ago. So only now you're making your major league debut. That tells me that there's some slow development, and maybe you're just not panning out to be the pitcher that maybe people thought you would be. Think about it. He's drafted 5 years ago, highly touted, very high in the first round, and now all of a sudden you're only making your major league debut 5 years later. What took you so long? It makes me think that his development hasn't been as fast and rapid as the Tigers were hoping. And then you look at his AAA numbers before this start tonight for Manning. Brutal. Terrible. So it's kind of interesting to see that they've called him up here. Because that doesn't have the numbers down in AAA that maybe warrant a call up. He's been crushed down there. So that worries me here a little bit here for Manning. I'm going to have to see him pitch well before I believe it. Until I'm proven otherwise, I think he could be in some rough shape tonight in this game. So I like the Angels in the first 5, minus a half a run. It's up to minus 145. I can't say it's the best value, but Angels first 5, minus a half a run. I'm going with that here with Ohtani and the Angels tonight. I just don't see – I see a lot of red flags with this Manning kid. He's going to have to show it to me. What do you think? And I like Detroit. They've been on – I've been on them a few days this week against Kansas City, but Angels are playing a lot better than Kansas City is right now. What do you think here, Connor? Tigers and Angels.
Yeah, Manning's supposed to be one of their better prospects, but you're right. In AAA, the long ball has been – he's giving up a lot of them. I'd be Ohtani. We've done it a couple times this year. Maybe Angels, you instead of the half a run, you go the full run. He's been that good so far pitching this year. And you got to look out to Sharpie. He gave it to me last night. Ohtani's a strikeout prop. He's hit 8. I don't know, his last 4 or 5 starts. It's 7.5, minus 110, minus 115. I think that's a good look. And I'd go Angels full game. I know their bullpen's rough. Run line, that's even money. Tigers got a horrible bullpen as well and give them some runs. So I could see an over 9 here at even money too. So we'll see. Lean Angels all the way around. You could bet it tons of different ways.
Yeah, I had the over yesterday. Best bet winner on the closing time show yesterday. Angels Athletics over. I could only bet overs with Angels the Angels right now. The Angels are 6-0 to the over. When you start to see these teams, they go over the total every game. 6, 7, 8 games in a row, and they go over the total. I either ride the streak or I pass, because usually what leads to it is the lineups that consistently stay hot. They're feeling it, and bullpens that consistently not get outs late in the games. Usually those are the 2 contributing factors, and that's what we're seeing. Angels bullpen is struggling, but they're scoring runs in bunches. And when you get this combination happening, that's when you end up going over the total. Game in, game out, game in, game out. The Angels are doing that right now. Jose, what do you think here? Angels, Tigers.
Well, I mean, Connor, it seems like recently in these last couple of days, you always mentioned my best play on Jimmy's show. Me and Sharpie both, our best plays of the day was Ohtani over 7.5 strikeouts.
Yeah, he told me it last night. That's what I just said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's on it. I didn't even know about it until the show, and then I found that he was on it as well. So I feel great about that. I heard also it's going up too, so bet it while you can. I had it at plus money earlier today. And Cheshire Cat, to answer your question or your little thing there, Shohei Ohtani, he is fifth fastest home plate to first in the league, and he is the 24th fastest player according to sprint speed on Baseball Savant. So absolute freak of a human. On Tuesday, he was my Jack of the Day candidate. He hit that. He hit a home run the next day, and he's pitching today, and he's going to get a strikeout over strikeout total. I'd like to ask you guys real fast. Is he the MVP? Because I've got an MVP future on him. I've been on him all year, so I would love to know. It's either him or Vladdy. So just quick, what do you guys think?
Yeah,
I know
it's
that's
either
what
one
makes
of
it
them.
tough to choose because I could go either one. Yeah, I think it's a dead heat right now. I think though, if the Jays make the playoffs, which they have a better chance to do than the Angels,
Absolutely.
he'll get it. But again, they've got to get there. If they both miss the playoffs, the Blue Jays and the Angels, then I think Ohtani's got a much better chance. So I think it really depends on that because I think the playoff, whether you make it or miss it, kind of factors into that decision a little bit as well. You're an MVP.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be a big contingency in terms of who's actually going to win that award. Tampa Bay, Seattle. Here we go. Last game on this Thursday slate. Rich Hill, the old lefty for the Rays. Justin Dunn for Seattle. Tampa Bay, pretty much a pretty sizable road favorite here. Minus 180 in some spots. 8.5 the total in this game. Rich Hill's had a nice solid season. 3.38 ERA. And Justin Dunn had a nice run going until the last start. And I backed him in the last start, first 5 innings against Cleveland, and he was just crushed in that game. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 innings against Cleveland. They get shut out 7-0. We'll see if he can bounce back. He has been good at home, 2.95 ERA. Mariners 3-1 in his 4 home starts this year. But again, Rich Hill, 3.38 ERA overall, 2.89 ERA on the road, 4-2 are the Rays in his 6 road starts this year. So you got 2 capable pitchers here. The Mariners are really starting to hit lefties, though. That's something to be slightly concerned about for Rich Hill tonight. Will they hit Hill is a question, but I'll tell you this right now. Last 10 games, 277 team average, 5.5 runs per game for the Mariners against lefties. So could this be some trouble for Seattle? I lean to the Mariners team total, believe it or not here. They got shut down last night. They lost 7-2. Justice Sheffield was brutal last night for the Mariners. But I think Seattle could get some runs here against Hill and the Rays. They've hit lefties well. That would be the closest. I don't have a strong opinion on this game, but if I had to throw out a lean, I think it would be Seattle team total over tonight. Connor, what do you think here? Rays Mariners.
I don't have a strong one either. Rich Hill's been so good, but this, now he's these huge prices on the road. I still like the Rays. I think they're a little bit better, but you have to lay a half a run to get a decent number here. I look towards the under. You mentioned Dunn's been good at home. We'll see after that start. That last start was horrible against the Indians on the road. See how bad that shoulder is. That's what's probably going to keep me off it, but I'd lean under here first 5 or full game.
We'll have to see if he's made any progress because he had the inflamed right shoulder. 12 days he was out. Then he had that start against Cleveland and just no moss. 5 runs, 9 hits. It was just not good for him. So Service and the pitching staff are trying to see, how he can adjust. They say it feels like he's better. His shoulder doesn't feel like he's got that same amount of pain and discomfort going into tonight. So if you believe the coach speak and the manager speak there, it leads you to believe that he should be feeling better and feel a lot more comfortable on the mound tonight. So we'll have to wait and see if he pitches like it, though. There's a big difference between feeling like you're better and then actually pitching like you're better. So we'll see if that is indeed what we get from Justin Dunn tonight. Jose, what do you think here? Tampa Bay, Seattle.
I think my rankings right now for pitchers that I just love watching pitch is Shohei Ohtani and then Dick Mountain. I love Rich Hill, but unfortunately, my man is 40 plus, 42, 41, and it seems like he has needed the sticky stuff to get by. He's been struggling a little bit as of late. Looking at his last 2 spin rate starts, they're all down, especially in his main pitches, what I care about. Curveball spin rate, that's his best pitch. It's been down 140 or 150 plus RPMs. I'm on the first 5 over here again. Connor, I'm sorry. You can beat me later, but I think that Dick Mountain can get touched up here a little bit, and I'd be worried about that if I was a Rays fan. And I don't hate the Justin Dunn first 5. I don't hate taking the Mariners plus 150, but ultimately I'd have to go with first 5 over 4.5 here.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit dicey on Dunn. Does he pitch well? Is he feeling better? Does he not? Does he struggle again coming off the inflamed shoulder? That's why I like Seattle team total over, because I like the way they're hitting lefties. And you mentioned Rich Hill. One of these pitchers were affected by the crackdown on the sticky stuff, the 10-day suspensions that are being issued, and the spin rate's been down. Right, that last start, he labored. Rich Hill. He was not himself that last start. That was one of his worst starts of the year, and the timing is suspicious, right?
Yeah,
timing of that, just this whole story ends up breaking about the spin rate and the crackdown on the foreign substances being used to enhance the spin rates. So it's definitely something that concerns me about Rich Hill tonight. There's one of those games you keep an eye on Rich Hill tonight, how he goes.
And on top of that, if Rich Hill needs the sticky stuff to still pitch in baseball, I'm giving it to him. I want to see Rich Hill pitch every day. I love Rich Hill. Give me Dick Mountain every day.
Yeah, there you go. It's because Dick Mountain is the obvious nickname for him because of his name. Rich, and a hill is a form of a mountain, so it's not. I
love the surprise. The surprise that goes through the chat and whoever I'm talking to when I say, "Man, I love Dick Mountain, Rich Hill." They just look at me and it takes them a second. Like, oh, okay.
It's clever. I gotta give Jose that. It's a clever nickname for old man Rich here for the Tampa Bay Rays. So that'll be interesting to see how he fares tonight, no doubt. All right, great stuff with Jose, our special guest, and of course Conor Mac. We will get to best bets. We will get to Jack of the Day for this Thursday card in just a moment or two. As we finish up this show. And again, thanks to everyone in the chat for tuning in and joining us on this Thursday edition of the show. We definitely appreciate it. So again, best bets, Jack of the Day coming up in just a moment. But before we get to that, we will pause, as we always do at this time of the show, for a couple of messages from both Manscaped and Southtown 101. Southtown 101. Check them out in San Antonio, Texas. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped promo code Pub Sports, 20% off your purchase. The Lawnmower 4.0, new and improved. You can use that promo code to get 20% off your purchase with Manscaped promo code Pub Sports. And mybookie.ag promo code Pub Sports. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB on a daily basis. We've got U.S. Open golf this weekend getting underway today at Torrey Pines with the opening round. We got NFL and college football a couple of months away. So a great time to open up an account with mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Check out mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. All right, it is that time of the show. Time for Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
Jack of the Day for this Thursday slate. There's a couple that definitely have piqued my interest. I mentioned Eugenio Suarez earlier against Joe Musgrove. Why not? He's got a home run against him. You can go with Votto as well for the Reds. both of those guys against Joe Musgrove. I'm very much interested in Aaron Judge for the Yankees against TJ Zoik. He's got a couple of bombs against him in the past. So you could definitely look at Aaron. And Aaron Judge is one of those guys, just bet the home run prop. Don't worry about total bases. He doesn't get singles. He doesn't get doubles anymore. He's just strikeout or home run. It's usually what you get with Aaron Judge. So just go for the home run prop and the plus price on Aaron Judge. So there you go. A couple of Reds and Aaron Judge for Jack of the Day for me. Connor, what do you like in the Jack of the Day category?
Yeah, I'll go with you mentioned it, those Reds, Suarez, Votto, maybe even Winker. Even though he's 1 for 9, I think he's due for a jack. I'm going to go with Vladdy, and I'm going to go with Yelich. I think he gets one off Marquez, 2 for 9 with a home run in the past. And I need the Brewers early. So Christian Yelich, go deep.
All right, Christian Yelich for the Brew Crew against German Marquez and that Rocky pitching staff in that environment, hot weather, wind blowing out. So definitely some things in Yelich's favor there. Jose, Jack of the Day, anything for you?
I think I'm going to roll with Javi Baez today. Has a home run off of Stroman and hits him hard. Average exit velo of 102. So thinking Javi Baez there.
All right, there you go. Javier Baez for the Chicago Cubs tonight against Marcus Stroman. All right, best bets for this Thursday slate. Conor Mac, we'll start with you. What do you like for your best bet today?
I like the Mets. Then I like the under, but nobody wants minus 125. Give me the Reds, first 5, plus 155. Give me the dog. They jump on the Padres early for a few runs. I also, in that game, maybe the team total over 3.5. I think it's worth a shot at plus money. The Reds team total, too.
All right, very good. I'm full agreement. Live dog there. I think the Reds,
Live dog, I think.
plus price, 150 range, first 5 innings, best bet for Conor Mac. Jose Bouquett, what do you like best bet today?
I'll be honest, guys. I thought today was pretty difficult. There's not. I guess the lack of games also contributes to that. But I thought it was kind of a difficult card to choose from. I've got my best bet from the show earlier, Ohtani over 7.5 Ks. I think I'm going to roll with Seattle, Tampa, first 5 over 4.5. I'm not particularly in love with it that much, but I do think that Dick Mountain struggles. We'll see how Dunn comes off of his shoulder injury or inflammation. I know that Seattle is not normally a place for runs, but I think we can get a couple across today. All
right, there we go. Liking the first 5 over between the Rays and the Mariners in West Coast late night action tonight. Jose's best bet. Mine is going to be, I'm going to go with Ohtani, but in the side, from a side perspective, in the first 5 innings, LA Angels minus a half run, minus 145. First 5 innings against the Detroit Tigers. Again, this Matt Manning kid, I don't need to hear for the millionth time he's one of their top prospects. You haven't pitched in the major leagues in 5 years. How much of a top prospect can you be when it's taken you this long to finally make it in the major leagues? That's a
You're giving up bombs in Toledo. Yeah, welcome to the bigs.
100%. Welcome to the bigs. Now, usually if you're a first round pick where he is, it takes you usually accelerate through the minors if you're as good as these teams think you are. And it takes you maybe 2 years, 3 max to finally crack a major league roster. It's taken this guy 5. Something doesn't look right. Something doesn't smell right. I think he struggles tonight, and he's been bombed in AAA prior to this call up to the Detroit Tigers tonight. So I think it's a starting pitching edge for Ohtani and the Angels. Angels in the outfield, minus a half. First 5 innings, minus 145 for my best bet. That'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Connor and I will be back later today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for the NBA Pub Hub show. And man, you are not going to want to miss this show. We've got so much to talk about. An absolutely shit show night in the association in the playoffs last night. We will recap a crazy night, an insane night last night on the NBA Pub Hub later today. And of course, we'll get you ready for a must-win, do or die for the Bucks as they play Game 6 against the Brooklyn Nets tonight. NBA Pub Hub, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And we should have Ski Profit back with us today as well. So looking forward to that. For Conor Mac and our special guest, Jose Bouquett, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great afternoon, and we will see you in a couple hours for the NBA Pub Hub, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, right here on Pub Sports Radio.